Okay, want to know what type of skimboard you should be riding for this upcoming summer here in New Zealand? Stay tuned and find out. Okay, welcome back to another video, everybody. I am Sam Price. I make all the Access skimboards you see around the place. Every single board that has been produced under this brand has been produced from these two things right here. Now this video here is all about pretty much back to basics, where to start. Here in New Zealand we have a very large variety of skim. We're not just exclusively wave skim, we're not just exclusively flatland. There's a lot of beaches for both. There's a lot of sort of hybrid skimboarding. There's a lot of conditions that are sort of separate to certain areas. So basically what I'm going to cover now is for those of you out there who are a little unsure about what to buy. Okay, first up, flatland. Now flatland is basically shoreline, tidal pools, creeks, anything like that. Still a little bit of chop hopping at the beach. This would be the most common type and probably the first to be picked up type of skimboarding here in New Zealand. Now what we want to do here is basically choose where you're going to be riding. A lot of people opt for a foam board purely because they're at a beach with a few waves, but these are much more susceptible to damage with rocks and shells and things like that. My flatland line of boards are pretty damn near on indestructible. A board such as this, which is the Grauman, which start from $114. Now these are full marine ply layout, Formica bottom, very hard wearing. You can run these over shells, rocks, and they won't get damaged. Now these are a great beginner board. They are quite, the surface area has been kept larger, as well as the rock are flatter. Now this just means big glides and an easy way to pick up and learn how to skimming on a great, affordable, durable platform. Now if you're looking for something that's slightly more advanced when it comes to flatland, you can move towards one of the Access Slip Easies. Now these are just a twin tip shape, more rocker and kind of a smaller surface area board, full traction setup. These here are produced with marine ply again and a fiberglass inlay. These here, if you want an indestructible skimboard, this is what you're going for. I've been riding these since the start, and basically these are the most common shape I've produced to date. Excellent board if you really want to step up your flatland game and have a board that can handle literally anything you can throw at it. Prices for these with the traction setup are $239 NZ, delivered nationwide right now. Okay, and when it comes to the waves, now basically we struggle a little bit in New Zealand with really good shore break conditions, although there are some good beaches around. You want a foam board, that's pretty much what you're going for. Much bigger, much more nose rocker, float, basically just a small surfboard without the fins. These are what I produce here. This particular one is an extra small 15mm E-glass splurge. I have the splurge model as well as the crabber model. Now the crabber model is basically just the fish shape, sort of floatier, not quite as high performance. Both incredibly good options, starting at $379 for E-glass and $449 for carbon plus traction. Now if you want to branch out into the waves and get into your wave riding, this is certainly the board, as well as the crabber model, is what you should be looking at. And traction setups, this is the most common setup for them here. A sticky Johnson tail pad and arch bar setup. I stock these here on the online shop. Most of the time I will stick these to the board for you here, because most of the wave boards are produced with a texture deck, requires a little light sand, and a lot of people are actually very paranoid about putting them on crooked. So I can do that, more than happy to do it at no cost for you here in the shop. And lastly and thirdly, and what has been a much more popular option than sort of I originally thought it was, and as mentioned, here in New Zealand we have a real mixture of conditions. A lot of people come to me with the idea of not really knowing what they want to do. They sort of want to do a bit of everything, and this is where the Flave comes into it. It's kind of like an egg-shaped board. It's actually produced with Formica wood and foam, which is a hybrid layout from basically everything we make. Hybrid shape, hybrid performance. You can run it up and down concrete if you want to. It will handle anything. You can hit rails, but it still floats a lot more than the flatland board. We have to keep in mind that this is not as good in the waves as a wave board, and it is not as good on the flatland as a flatland board. But if you really want to go everywhere and do a bit of everything, this is the board for you. These are priced right now $299, delivered anywhere in New Zealand, plus your traction setup. Most people will probably opt for a tail pad or even the flatland style traction on this. Plus of course you can just run it with some normal surf wax, so the options are endless. So if you or someone you know are struggling with board choice and board selection for this upcoming summer, show this video to them, or feel free to get in touch with me and we'll help choose the right board for you to get the most out of your skimboard performance this summer. All prices start from $114 New Zealand delivered nationwide, and you can get all the boards up on shop.oxsenterprises.com. Feel free to get in touch with any other questions or drop any questions you may have down below in this video and I'll get on to answering them. I'm Sam Price, I'll see you at the beach.